What's up, guys? Here for the Week 10 review. To start, we don't have any trades to cover. All the trades that we had were covered last week. We didn't have any trades since the last video. So I'll just jump right into the matchups here. First one I got is myself versus Steven. This was the top two scoring teams of the week, I believe. But I was able to pull this one out, 162 to 146. Had Matt Ryan with 21, Gurley had 24, Gordon had 25, Devonta Adams had 20. Edelman with 15, Hooper had 17, Nick Chubb had 34. I got 0 from Mike Williams. I got a 0 from the Patriots defense. Not much on my bench. Couple buys, couple guys. Hogan didn't do much in his game. Nothing. Chris Carson was out. Dak put up 22. Could have got a couple points more at quarterback. That's about it. Steven's team, Newton had 15. Aaron Jones with 31. Matt Breida with 27, Josh Gordon had 10, Zach Ertz with 34, John Ross with 10. He got a 0 out of the Jaguars defense, which hurt his team. Also lost Cooper Kupp for the season, who tore his ACL and only had 6 points in that game. So big loss for him. He's battling for a playoff spot, and that's probably, in my opinion, really gonna hurt him. I don't know what kind of changes he's going to be able to make to recover from that kind of loss. Next up, we have Derek versus Phillip. Phillip won this one. It was 99 to 75. Derek had Jared Goff with 21. Tariq Cohen had 13. Smith-Schuster with 18. And just a bunch of duds the rest of the way. Had Godwin on the bench with 14, Amendola with 11, Mike Davis with 16. Definitely could have got quite a bit of more points at some of his positions, which would have maybe helped him out there. I could see playing Godwin over Humphreys. I could see playing Amendola over Kirk. The tough thing about Mike Davis was you had to wait to hear the news. Obviously, if he was busy Sunday or whatever, you don't know. You could have maybe thrown him in there over Mohamed Sanu, but that's a crapshoot. I'm not playing Mike Davis over Michelle, who got 3 points, which kind of struggled for him. He had Kirk, who got 2, O.J. Howard 2, Rams defense got 2, his kicker got 2. Just overall a pretty tough day for him there. Looking at Phillips' team, LaShawn McCoy 24. Odell Beckham had 21. Robert Woods with 13. Defense got him 12. Kicker got him 10. Had Derrick Henry on the bench, who had 18. So you could have got some more points there. Doug Martin on the bench with 11. Obviously some more points there. It looks like Phillip has Le'Veon Bell on his bench. So as obviously most of us know by this point today, he is not reported. So he will not be playing this season. So Le'Veon Bell got tossed around quite a bit in this league, so just looks like Phillip got stuck, the last little guy there. Looking at some duds in his line, Jordy Nelson got 0. I believe the news is that Nelson is going to be retiring. I haven't heard anything official on that, to my understanding. I also believe he may have suffered a little bit of an injury in the game, but we'll see how that goes. Kenyon Drake with 5, Andy Dalton with 7, Jimmy Graham with 2. Jimmy Graham had a really nice matchup. Dolphins really struggled against the tight end, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Obviously, the Packers they don't throw to the tight end, it appears. Next matchup we got is Joseph versus Brian, and Brian got his second win of the season, 112 to 90. So Brian's not quite dead. He's still trying to get a couple W's in here before the end of the year. Joseph's team had Mahomes with 20. Mark Ingram had 24. The Chargers defense got him 10. Just not much else going on there. Nothing on his bench. He had some bye weeks there and some injuries. Some duds in his lineup. Maybe Mike Evans was 7 pretty much. Taylor Gabriel got him 0. But everything else, I think is pretty, pretty much on par with what you would expect. Looking at Brian's team, Tom Brady with 11, Crowell with 11, Fournette playing for the first time in quite some time with 25. Sterling Shepard got 11. Galladay with 17. Bills defense with 13. Had Aguilar on the bench who had 11. No real duds in his lineup. You would hope your kicker could get a little bit more than 3. But everybody else, putting up some points. So obviously, you hope T.Y. Hilton can get more than 9, but it's not a bad day considering I don't believe he scored a touchdown. Next up, we got Dakota versus Josh. Dakota won this one 135-113. Dakota had Wentz with 21, McCaffrey with 34, Tyreek Hill with 29, Julio with 20, Saints kicker with 17. A lot of bye weeks on his bench. Gronk didn't play, so duds in his lineup. Randall Cobb got him nothing. Obviously, he was hurt, and given his team construction, he did not have an opportunity to sub him out. I'm not going to force anybody to, have to play somebody. That's their choice. Obviously, it puts them at a disadvantage, which I'm sure everybody is fine with. But so it worked out for him. Ben Watson with 0.6. Cowboys defense with 1. Jordan Howard with 4. Some low lights in his lineup. Everybody else, performing pretty well. Looking at Josh's team, he had Drew Brees with 29. Brandon Cooks with 22. Dante Moncrief with 17. Greg Zuerlein with 12. Had Rivers on the bench with 15, so he played the right quarterback. Tyler Lockett on the bench with 17, so he could have got some more points playing him in either the flex or playing him above Deshaun Jackson. Nothing else really going on. He would have got an additional point if he'd have played the Seahawks over the Jets, because they got -6 and the Jets got -7. So tough day for both his defenses. Not really sure why you would carry both defense. Obviously, Jets, nobody really saw that coming. So I can't really blame him too much there. James White only getting 5. Obviously he was killing it, but Sony Michel's back, so now there's going to be some split time here and there. So not really sure how both of them are going to produce fantasy-wise now that they're going to have to share some time. Next up, we got Dalton versus Garrett. Garrett got back on the winning track here, 141-109. Dalton had Fitzpatrick with 14, Connor with 14, Kamara with 24, Cooper with 11, Keenan Allen with 15, Robbie Gould had 13. Had Wilson on the bench with 26, so he could have got basically double the quarterback points there. Still would have lost, so not a huge change there. Eagles defense gave him 1. Basically, everybody else probably did about what you'd expect, to be honest. You might hope Jeffrey could get a little more than 7, but it's not a horrible day by any means. Looking over here at Garrett's team, Trubisky with 36. So he squeaked out, beating Ben Roethlisberger, who he had on the bench, by 0.2. Kareem Hunt with 11. Kerryon Johnson with 22. David Johnson with 34. Harrison Butker with 10. Obviously, outside of Roethlisberger, nothing going on his bench. Some duds. Landry with 3, Tate with 3. Those are kind of the 2 duds in his lineup. You probably expected Kareem Hunt to do a little more than 11, but as long as your guys are getting double digits, you got to be pretty happy with that. Next up, we got the last matchup here. It is Orlando versus Chad, and this was the closest matchup of the week. Orlando won this matchup 130.6 to 130.1. This matchup came down to Monday night. I didn't watch the end of the game, so I don't know how close it came down. I don't know who had the ball last and all that stuff. But this would have been very interesting, to be part of this matchup here. Orlando's team, Aaron Rodgers, his new quarterback, got him 18. Antonio Brown with 19. Allen Robinson, his new receiver, got him 28. He couldn't do a goddamn thing when he was on my team, though. Saquon Barkley with 12. Packers with 15. Jake Elliott with 10. Had Ebron on the bench and was able to survive that coaching mistake, if you want to call it that. Had 27. Corey Davis on the bench with 22. Duke Johnson on the bench with 13. So he had some points on the bench. Looking at his lineup, really maybe the only player I would have maybe taken out would have been Marlon Mack, and maybe I could have moved Barkley in that spot and then played any one of these guys in that spot, But it's, hindsight's 2020. You never know. But Hughes, regardless, still got that win. Looking at Chad's team, Luck with 21, Elliott with 34, Michael Thomas with 23, Kittle with 13, Bears defense with 12. Not too much going on his bench. And probably not too, I don't really see any sore spots in his lineup. Kicker got him 2. Obviously, that hurts some there. But everything else is, pretty typical in my opinion. It does look like his kicker did miss a 52-yard field goal attempt. So that obviously cost him the game there. But that's how it goes. We have 3 weeks left in the regular season. As far as I can tell, I have a playoff seed wrapped up. Garrett has a playoff seed wrapped up. And then the next 4 spots are basically up for grabs between 6 teams. It'll be between Dakota and Josh, who have a slight leg up with 6 wins. And then Dalton, Steven, Orlando, and Chad all have 5 wins. Pretty much everybody else is likely out unless somebody can squeeze in the very last spot if they get super lucky. But that would have to be Philip or Joseph. Derek and Brian are mathematically eliminated because the best they can do is get 5 wins apiece, and that's just not going to be enough to get in. I will have rankings posted here shortly. Keep in mind, this is the last full week before the trade deadline. Trade deadline is Thanksgiving Day, the 22nd at noon. I know some people have been throwing out some trades today. Obviously, I've gotten some myself. Unless it's really, tickling my fancy, I'm not really looking to make any moves necessarily to the team. But you never know. If you persuade me with a guy I really like, or it looks like it's advantageous to myself, I will definitely jump on it. Best of luck to everybody. Get your waiver claims in. Don't spend all your fab on Brandon Marshall. And see you guys next time.